Hello everybody, this is Jeremy from GamerTell, and today I want to show you the brand new Xbox Live dashboard for the fall of 2012. Now this update is going out to every Xbox 360 around the world today, and it will continue to be rolled out around the world for the next couple weeks or so. So when you turn on your Xbox 360, you may get an update prompt, but if you do not get that prompt, don't worry about it because it is coming very soon to you. Now, this update does not bring a lot of big, dramatic visual changes like the 2011 update did, but it does bring some pretty notable features such as Xbox Music and the Internet Explorer web browser to the Xbox 360. And we're going to go over all that stuff right now. So just by looking at the home screens, you can see that it looks pretty similar to the way the Xbox 360 looked in the fall of 2011, with one possible exception being that Microsoft has decided to put more of these tiles on the screen. Like as you can see here, the tiles are basically the separated squares that all part of Microsoft's design philosophy that they used to call Metro, but now they just call it a modern UI or a new Windows experience. You know, just some really marketing mumbo jumbo from them. But they've added more of these tiles on screen just so there's more things that you can see, more things that they can possibly convince you to buy, more room for ads maybe. You know, but for the most part, this basic design guideline has, by and large stayed the same. And of course, the Bing search is still around that allows you to search the Xbox 360 and allows you to search, Xbox video and Xbox music for any specific thing that you want to find. So, just for example, if I wanted to search for, I'm just going to search for Batman because Batman's cool, right? And I do not have Connect, so won't be doing any Connect voice search stuff. So I just want to search for Batman, and of course I go to Batman and it'll search through anything the Xbox 360 has that is related to Batman. So you see we have movies here. You can search for Batman through the Internet Explorer browser. There's Arkham City, the game, Batman Beyond the cartoon, Lego Batman, just like anything that Microsoft has to offer in terms of media or games that has anything to do with Batman, you're going to find it right here in this search. And the same thing goes for other searches that you might want to do. So if you didn't want to search for Batman, let's just say instead you wanted to search for, let's see, well, Breaking Bad is awesome, right? So let's see if there's anything with Breaking Bad in it. B-R-E-A-K. I probably should have picked a word with less letters. But for the sake of this, we're going, all right, there's Breaking Bad. So we search for Breaking Bad. It searches everything. You hear the little chime, and then there you go. There's Breaking Bad there, and then there's Breaking In. Search the web for Breaking Bad. And if you actually click on Breaking Bad, then you see that you can check out some of the episodes of Breaking Bad through the various applications that Microsoft has for the Xbox 360. You can get synopsis from each episode. If I want to look at this, it'll say, okay, this is where you can watch this episode of Breaking Bad. You can purchase it from Xbox Live. You can look at it with Netflix. You can get it from Vudu or Cinema Now. So that's just something that you can do if you wanted to do searching. But so let's just go all the way back out to the beginning. And let's check out something else that's new. Pins. Pins are basically bookmarks that you can assign your favorite applications or your favorite games that's on your hard drive so that you can access them quickly without having to look for them. Because, if you're really going to be using your Xbox 360 to play games, as you may have noticed, Microsoft has somewhat buried games through the dashboard since 2011. So finding games is not the easiest thing in the world to do anymore. But if I wanted to have quick access to a specific game, let's just say for some reason I wanted to access Happy Wars, like really quickly, then I can press X on Happy Wars and I can pin it to home. And when I pin it to home, let's just do that now. we can go back to our main screen, and we can go over to pins right here, click on that, and then you can see Happy Wars is right there, pinned to this menu, so that if I wanted to access it quickly, I can do that. And if I wanted Happy Wars to be the very first thing I see, I just press Y, and then it's the very first thing I see. So that's just an easy way to basically, like I said before, just bookmark the things that you want to see the most, or things that you want to play the most, so that you can access them easier in the future. So the rest of the things that we have here is just basically promotional things and advertisements that Microsoft wants you to know about. The presidential debates were tonight, and you could have watched that on Xbox Live. There's one more to go, so you can watch that too. You know, the friends menu really hasn't changed. The avatar stuff is still there, being able to set beacons in order to let your friends know what kind of games you want to play. That's all intact. You know, browsing through games still pretty much the same. Different categories, different highlighted games. So if I wanted to see what was in stores right now, then we can see what games that, you know, Microsoft wants to highlight. So I just want to go to Call of Duty, and everything that I would want to know about Modern Warfare 3, since that is in stores right now, it's all right here. And then there's Modern Warfare 2, and then there's Black Ops. So if you wanted to know something about a specific game, and it has multiple games in that genre or in that series, then you can just go to a page like this, and it will, you know, just pretty much show you anything that you could want to know. So this is EA Sports. So we can go to FIFA Soccer, we can go to Madden, we can go to NHL 12, Tiger Woods, PGA Tour, NCAA football, all your sports stuff just right there. Still probably not the easiest thing in the world to really get deep into the search mechanics to find games through Xbox Live, but if you know what you're looking for, it does do a pretty good job of showing you exactly what you probably want to see in the first place. So I'll spend a little bit more time on games, individual sections for Xbox Live Arcade and games on demand. And then there's indie games. Indie games get a little bit more space out here on the dashboard, not quite as buried as I was before. And just downloadable content, demos, and extras. So not a whole lot has changed in terms of the games there. But here's something that is a little bit different. Xbox Video. Now, Xbox Video is a rebranding of Zune. As you know, Zune was a brand that Microsoft championed back in the day when they were really trying to come up against iTunes. Like the first time they were really trying to come up against iTunes, and they had their Zune media player, music player, and the service was also called Zune. But from now on, Zune is dead, and Microsoft is using Xbox as the brand for music and movies, even on computers. So when Windows 8 comes out on the 26th, there will be Xbox Music and Xbox Video, because that's the brand that everyone knows. You all know, love, and trust Xbox, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. So, you know, similar to the PlayStation Video Store, Xbox Videos is just a place that you can go to rent and buy videos. If for some reason they're not on Netflix, they're not on Hulu Plus, you can't find anything on HBO Go, then you come to Xbox Music or Xbox Video in order to find those things. So, you know, here's your video collection. If you have any videos, I do not. Some highlighted things, and then sections individually for movies, television shows, and recommended shows. So, let's just say I want to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or no, let's just go to Walking Dead, since that's what popped up at the last second. We're going to go to Walking Dead. They just had their third season premiere recently. And so here's season 3. So, well, let's go to season 2, since that was a lot of episodes. So we can see all the episodes of The Walking Dead. You can't just watch them right now from here. So if I wanted to watch the first episode of the second season, shows you a little preview, and then you can choose to rent it for or purchase it for 240 Microsoft points in the HD version or 190 Microsoft points for the standard definition version. Now, over on the PC, it's my understanding that Microsoft is using real money totals and not Microsoft points. But over on the Xbox, they're still using Microsoft points. So if you're wondering how much is 190 Microsoft points, I honestly, off the top of my head, cannot tell you. But I'm pretty sure that it is, more or less the same amount that you would find in other services, perhaps maybe $1.99, $2.99 maybe. So you can do that for individual episodes, or you can buy the entire gosh darn season of The Walking Dead season 2, and it will cost 2,800 Microsoft points. Now, as you can see, once you do that, you can stream it instantly, or you can choose to download it later. And you can play it back on your Xbox, your PC, your Zune player, if you still got one, or Windows Phone. So anything associated with Microsoft, once you purchase it, then you can play it back on all of those different devices. So in other words, it's not just locked to your Xbox 360. You can theoretically have it with you wherever you go. And it's also non-refundable, so just make sure you know what you want before you actually purchase it, because you won't get your money back. So yeah, these are just some other shows you want to see. Here's Family Guy. They've got a whole bunch of seasons. Again, if you have Netflix, I think Netflix has Family Guy up to season 9 or perhaps season 10. You can get it from there. So like I said before, if you want to buy the whole season, you can do that. And Family Guy will cost you 3,040 Microsoft points. Well, you know what? I'm not too sure if it will cost 3,040 Microsoft points, or if that's just the balance, as if they took away the 60 Microsoft points that I currently have. But it's roughly around that same price. Yeah, so this is Xbox Video. It's just a standard place for you to get everything that all the videos that you might want to see from movies and TV shows. Look down here, it says free TV. Let's see what that's about. Guys with kids. Let's see, what is that about, since it said free TV? Somehow I get the feeling this is not going to be free. Oh, no. Not sure why it's called free TV, but, it's just kind of the same old, same old. So, yeah, that's Xbox Video. Let's jump out of this, and let's go to Xbox Music. Now, Xbox Music is brand new. It was launched along with the new dashboard. Or if you were in the beta, then you've seen Xbox Music in the past and just weren't allowed to talk about it. But now we can. So Xbox Music is a subscription music service. It works much like Pandora and Spotify in that you can stream or download entire song or albums or individual songs and play them back on your Windows PC or your Windows Phone. And coming a little bit later on, there will be apps for iOS and Android for Xbox Music. So for right now, once you click on this application, you will have to choose whether you want a 30-day free trial, or if you want to go ahead and purchase a subscription that will cost $9.99 a month. Now, Microsoft says it has over 30,000 songs attributed in Microsoft or in Xbox Music. And let's just take a look at it right now. Looks very similar to Xbox Video, the same modern UI, Metro UI, new Windows experience, whatever you want to call it. Has that same look with all of these pins. You can set up your own playlist. You can pin your favorite albums to the front menu here. I did one yesterday, just a random one. I have no idea who The Second Law is, or that's Muse. That's the name of the album, is The Second Law. But I don't really listen to Muse, but I just pinned that just as an example. But if you want to listen to music, let's just go to all music here, and at random, let's just go to okay. Let's just go to All Time Low, Don't Panic, all right? We're just going to do that. So you can choose to play the entire album, or you can select the individual song that you want to play, whichever one that may be. You can add all the songs to your playlist for easy access a little bit later on, or you can learn a little bit more about the artist. So let's just do that. And it'll allow you to check out the albums that they are attributed to. You can look at all the music videos, and then here's a little brief bio about the band here. So you can read about All Time Low, and you can scroll down, read much more about them. But if you don't want to read and you just want to listen to music, we can just play the album, and this is what that screen looks like. We've got the album art and various pictures of the band just rotating in and out as the song plays. You can back out of this and you can continue to browse around and listen to, and look at different artists and everything while the music plays. And when you don't want to listen to it anymore, you just go down to it, where no matter where you are, just press down on your D-pad, click on it, and you can pause it, you can shuffle it, you can pin the track, and do pretty much whatever you want from there. You can also look at music videos. So, if Vivo is not the place you want to be to look at music videos, then go ahead and look at music videos from here. No one's going to mind. So if I were going to look at this Green Day video, you can purchase it if you wanted to for 160 Microsoft points, or you can just look at it, just stream it. And it will play shortly. And there it is. Let's get a little taste of that, and all the Xbox Music logos and everything eventually fades out. You move your analog stick, this comes up. You can look at all the songs. If this were an album, you can look at all the songs. And you can still continue to do whatever you want while the music video is playing in the background. But when you want to stop it, just like you would do a song, you can just pause it and you can just leave it alone. If you plan on getting Windows 8, when that comes out on the 26th, there will be an option for free Xbox Music. It will be supported with ads, but it will be free. And at this point, a free option is not available for the Xbox 360. Not sure if there ever will be. There may be. But if you want free Xbox Music streaming, then your PC is going to be the place that you're going to want to be for that. Yeah, so that's Xbox Music. All your music in one place. If you're familiar with the way Spotify works or that Pandora works, just take those, kind of mash them up together, and you have Xbox Music. Now let's go to one of the other big new features about this dashboard, and that is Internet Explorer. This is the first time in the existence of the Xbox brand that there has been a web browser built in. I'm not sure why it has to download Internet Explorer, because it was already downloaded previously, but maybe there was an update. So hopefully this won't take that long. To my knowledge, the browser is not a very large download at all. I think it was like under a megabyte. But when I downloaded the newest version of the browser yesterday, for some reason it was taking much longer to download a megabyte than it should. For whatever reason, I have absolutely no idea, but it should be done shortly. Hopefully within the next few seconds, so I won't have to keep rambling on like this. All right, it downloaded. Promise this time? All right, let's see. Okay, why is it installing again? Let's just try to go to My Apps. Maybe it's located there, and we can just jump right into it. Okay, here we go. Internet Explorer for the Xbox 360. Now, naturally, it doesn't look like Internet Explorer on your desktop. You have to make it as friendly as possible for use with the Xbox 360 controller. So, what you can do, let's just start off with featured. These are sites that Microsoft has put on the feature list by default. Facebook, Twitter, Devour, Post, Pinterest, and I'm using the right analog stick to move back and forth here, Flickr, Fox Sports, and The Onion. And you can look at things that you may have looked at recently. And then you also have favorites, and that was put there by default once again. Now, when you want to go to a website, you just click up here in the address bar and go to whatever website that you want. We're going to go to GamerTale since that's who I'm doing this video for. So GAMER. It moves pretty quickly, so it's not quite like, going like left or right. It's fluid motion with the analog stick here. So I go to ll.com and I press start. You see the loading bar zooms across the top of the screen there. And then here we are at GamerTale as it loads up. And what you also can do is you can zoom in and out using the right trigger to zoom in, and then you press the left trigger to zoom out. And it's not loading all the way. Oh, there it goes. And you can just zoom down with the right analog stick. It completely takes up the entire real estate of your screen. So you don't see any title bars as you're just scrolling around or anything like that. It's like your entire television is your web browser. Much better than what Sony has done with the PlayStation 3's browser that they seem to have abandoned. And when you want to just look at something, you just click on the link there, and it'll take you to the page, and it's just like you would see it on the web. Once again, you can zoom out, read all that stuff. There's a story about the MG Android gaming console. And when you want to go back, you just press back on your D-pad here. At least that's what I thought you did. And it's not going back. Oh well, work in progress, right? But I do know that if you want to go to somewhere else, you press Y on your controller, and it'll take you right back to the main menu that shows your favorites and recent and featured. And let's go to another website. For the news-oriented folk, we're just going to go to CNN.com. Of course, the speed of the browser is going to be dependent on your internet connection. And my internet connection, it's not like a super fast, awesome internet connection. I think maybe I get about 15 down and about 4 up. So, I would think, fairly average internet connection, and pages load up quickly. Everything is nice. Everything is nice and smooth. We can click on anything, and it just pops up very nicely. Very, very nice here. So far, I think that this is a very nice implementation of the Internet Explorer browser, and if Sony had done something remotely close to this with the PlayStation 3, then maybe that browser would have gotten a lot more use out of it. But that is just not the case. I think Microsoft did a pretty good job with this. But here's one thing that you should know. It is not a Flash browser, which means you cannot look at YouTube videos, for example, because those videos are Flash on the web. It does play HTML5 video, but as of right now, HTML5 is not as prevalent as Flash is. It will be in the future, but it's not right now. So if I wanted to look at that really, really epic space jump from a couple days ago, you'll see that I cannot watch it. It says Adobe Flash is required for video playback. So if you wanted to go to sites that require Flash video, that includes sites like YouTube or any other video sites you might be thinking about, you may or you may not be able to watch those videos if they require Flash. But there is a YouTube app for the Xbox 360, but it does not give you the full breadth of the YouTube experience but it does exist. And if you want to look at YouTube videos, that's probably what you're going to be relegated to. So you cannot look at Flash content. But, everything else, it seems to be pretty nice. It is a good browser. And you can add your favorites just by pressing triangle and going up here. You can check out the settings here. You can turn on the smart screen filter is on by default. You turn that off, and then you can go to all the sites that may not be safe for work, and some other options about helping improve the experience by sending your browser history to Microsoft. You can use the mobile versions of websites that support that if you wanted to. Use your whole TV screen to show web content, and you can store cookies and delete your history if you want. So it's a friggin' web browser, and it's a pretty good one too. So let's just go right back to the... Oh, okay. So if you want to move backwards from the web pages, it's not left on the analog or the D-pad. You just press the back button. You press B, and then you go back. Could have sworn it was the other way around, but oh well. Anyway, we can X out of here just by going to the X at the top right of the screen, and we're going to go right back to the home dashboard screen. Now, one more thing I want to show you before we wrap this up. During E3, Xbox or Microsoft announced something called SmartGlass, which is a second screen application that allows you to control the Xbox 360, and some games can come out to support SmartGlass to give you a second screen experience. I believe the newest Dance Central has the first SmartGlass application specifically for that game. Now, we're going to be seeing more of this in the SmartGlass applications for like Android and iOS are going to come out when Windows 8 comes out on the 26th. So for right now, you can't really do it unless you have an iOS device. So you download My Xbox, the app that's free from the Apple App Store, connect it to your Xbox 360, and when you do that, you're going to see a little something pop up at the bottom of the screen. We are going to connect, and it says that I am connected with Xbox SmartGlass. Now, this is something that you can't see because I'm recording the video directly from the screen, but in my hand right now, I have my iPod Touch with the My Xbox app installed on it. And I can choose to go to an option that says controller, and it brings up a basic controller layout in which I can choose to go up, down, left, and right. So right now, I'm just moving to the right. I can press B on this app to move backwards, and I'm controlling the Xbox 360 entirely with the iPod Touch. The controller is on the floor, and I'm just moving through everything here. And even when the controller is not brought up on the screen, there's a quick play menu in the app that lets you access some of the most recent things that you've played. So, for example, I have Happy Wars listed on my quick play screen. I have Internet Explorer. I have Xbox Music and Video, and I have Netflix. So I'm just going to tap Netflix on my iPod Touch screen, and then it just automatically starts on my Xbox, and then the controller portion of the app automatically comes up so that I can navigate through Netflix. So we're going to let Netflix load up, and I don't think that Netflix has received any changes. It's still that interface that people don't seem to like all that much. So I'm just going to go to the traditional Netflix experience by tapping A on this iPod Touch screen, and as soon as it loads up, we can do some stuff. So this can be particularly useful if you have a wired Xbox 360 controller and you just kind of want to sit back on your bed or on your couch and you don't want to drag the controller across the floor. You can use the SmartGlass application to do all the same stuff pretty much, at least as far as a basic control goes. And there is a tiny delay in between tapping something on the screen and seeing the action performed on your Xbox. Not a big difference, and but it's still quite neat. So if I just wanted to look at a quick movie, I wanted to look at Good Will Hunting, right? I just queue it up. I press A. It starts by itself, because this is just merely a controller that is sending information to the Xbox, telling it what to do. And on the bottom of the iPod Touch screen, there is a small picture of the cover of Good Will Hunting. That when I click on it, I have options to pause it, play it. I can skip forward. Pause it again. And I can just back out of it altogether. And we're right back to the Netflix screen. And from there, I can just bring the controller back up, press B, go over to exit Netflix. I thought I exit Netflix. Come on, and that's the thing. There's no tactile feedback, so. Okay, so you can just exit Netflix. And then, SmartGlass is still connected. I can still control the dashboard. You can't play games with this. It's not set up for that kind of thing. It's just really just a basic control function. And then when I'm all done with it, when I decide, okay, I've had enough, I'm just going to disconnect SmartGlass. You can just turn it off. Turn off your iPod Touch, close the app, pick up your controller again, and then you just have control with your Xbox controller. You can go into, I believe, the system settings, and I think you have to go to console settings, is it? Yeah. And you go to connected devices, and you have to make sure that the Xbox SmartGlass apps section is turned on, so that way you can connect your iOS device. And when it's released, when the official app is released for Android, because I do not think that you can use the remote function with the Android My Xbox app, because it's further behind in updates than the iOS app is. So just make sure that that's selected, and then you'll be good to go. So yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much a good look at the 2012 Xbox 360 dashboard. Like I said, big features include the rebranding of Zune for Xbox Music and Xbox Video, the Internet Explorer web browser, the ability to pin things to the home screen, better search functionality, and just a tiny different look. It's not a huge update, but it is sizable enough to show some attention to, and you should be getting this update very soon. If you haven't gotten it by now, I don't believe there's any way to force it. You just have to be a little bit patient, and it will come to you between now and, at the very worst, a couple weeks from now. But 3 million of us should be getting this pretty much today. So yeah, that'll do it for me. So until next time, I'm Jeremy from GamerTel, and I'll see you next time.